Hello Scorpio, my name is Jason. This is your mid-February 2019 general tarot reading. So it could be about love, career, any projects or thoughts at the forefront of your mind. You'll know in the first couple of minutes whether this is your reading or not. Please take what's yours, leave the rest, don't try and make it fit. You can also check out my moon or readings for the moon and rising signs, and they might resonate a little more strongly or patch up some gaps for you that way. Okay, but for now, let's have a look and see, Scorpio, what may be in store for you and what energies are around you. Okay, so the beginning of this period, mid-February, sees you with the Four of Swords. So it feels like you've just come out of a busy period, perhaps a hectic schedule, and now you're looking to sit back and reflect on what you might do differently next time, whether you're in the right place, whether you're in the right relationship. Perhaps this was quite an arduous period you've just come through, and you're really appreciating this break. Others of you, perhaps you've just taken a break from a job or even quit your job, and now you're looking for something else, but you don't just want to jump into anything. You want to jump into something that's going to suit you. And if you haven't left this job yet, you might be thinking about it, or if it's a relationship, you might be thinking about that because of this harsh period that you've just been through, but we'll clarify that. Okay, your challenge for this period is you have the Six of Pentacles. Now the Six of Pentacles talks about balance, but also talks about generosity and allocating your resources appropriately. So you'll see this card here, you have the large character giving something to one of the characters, the smaller ones, and not to the other one. And he has there in his hand the scales. So this talks about working out who gets what. So perhaps you've been in charge of some kind of money or some set of resources, and it's up to you to dole out who gets what. We'll clarify that a little later. Your hopes and fears position. In your hopes and fears position, you have the King of Swords. And so the King of Swords is quite a straight thinking, straight acting kind of energy. Okay, so if this is you, then you're hoping that you're going to have the clarity of thought and the courage perhaps to say what needs to be said. So perhaps you've got to write a letter to someone explaining something very clearly, I'm seeing, and you're going to try and be as objective as possible. And if this is a person in your vicinity, then you're hoping this person might help you out a little bit somehow. And if it's because this is a hopes and fears position, perhaps there's a person in your environment and you're a little bit intimidated by what they may do next somehow. If they don't agree with your decisions or this position of responsibility that you have, perhaps you're feeling as though you're trying to please this person somehow. We'll have a look and see where that goes. In your best attitude position, you have the Four of Cups. The Four of Cups talks about taking opportunities. Okay, it talks about keeping an eye out for things which you might not normally see as well. So you have a look at this person here. The universe is offering this cup here, and he's sitting there with his arms crossed, either not seeing it or not taking it. Could also be a card of boredom, but because it's in the best attitude position, I'm seeing here that it's like you're being asked to keep an eye out for opportunities that come your way. Could be about work, could be about creativity. So something might come across your vision, or someone may ask you Someone may ask you out, or give you some kind of offer, and if you turn this down, you really ask yourself why you'd be turning this down. I'm feeling it's a pretty good offer, and basically the best attitude position is saying, take this offer. You really have no good reason to refuse this offer, Scorpio, and perhaps it's just a default position you've developed over a long period of time, where if someone offers you something, or someone offers you, especially, I'm starting to feel this might be some kind of a romantic offer here, and you've developed this idea that no is your first answer, and people are very discouraged by no. Perhaps if you said, well, maybe, or let's talk about it, or call me, or something, but if you just say no, well, imagine how that other person feels. And yes, life is full of hard knocks, Scorpio, but you're a pretty sensitive person too. So you would know how that feels when someone makes you a genuine offer. You've got no reason to deny it, and they might be a little bit perplexed. Well, how could they possibly like not even a cup of coffee or something like that? I'm feeling here, and have a look at the attitude of this person. Is this person like a spoiled brat, or perhaps you have so many options, Scorpio, that you just haven't got time for any more? I don't know, but look, you're being asked to take this offer. There's an offer coming to you, and it's pretty genuine. Okay. Hope this is making sense. We'll clarify it. In the outcome position, you have the Nine of Swords, and the Nine of Swords is about overthinking things, staying awake at night, regretting not taking an offer or an opportunity. And it can also just be about maybe beating yourself up about something. We'll have a look at that and see what this is about. This is sort of a real mix here. I'm not really getting a straight story with it yet. We'll see what comes out, Scorpio. So the Four of Swords is here. Please clarify the Four of Swords for Scorpio. We know there's some kind of rest after a tough period, a really busy period perhaps, and now Scorpio is taking a rest from it. Okay, you have the Hanged Man, yes. All right, so the Four of Swords clarified by the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man talks about waiting for your next big idea. So this reflecting that you're doing is what this person is doing here, sitting there calm, not stressing out too much, waiting for the next big idea to come to them. So perhaps if you're self-employed, then you're feeling like you've come to some kind of hiatus, but you're not in a hurry to move forward. I'm not feeling a sense of urgency here. I'm feeling that this is a good time for you to sit back and reflect on things. The Six of Pentacles in your challenge position, so it looks like there's something about resource allocation. Who gets the money? Who gets the time? Who gets the widgets? Okay, let's have a look and see what this is about. Please clarify the Six of Pentacles for Scorpio. Let's clarify the Six of Pentacles for Scorpio. Apologise if you can hear that train going past. I hope it's not interfering with the noise, the sound. Okay, you have the Eight of Pentacles. So there is some work which needs to be done, and perhaps you're in charge of like human resources or a rostering system, and you've got to work out like who works where, what hours. I'm feeling like a timetable or something that you need to work out who's the best person for which position, and it's quite a sense of responsibility. It looks like it's part of your job, and you might be coordinating some volunteers or something like that. So The Eight of Pentacles talks about work, but it's clarifying the Six of Pentacles, which is talking about allocation of resources. So that's why I'm getting that idea. Okay, not seeing any, not being drawn to draw another card there. Scorpio, if you're still with me, thank you. I hope this is making some kind of sense. I'm trying to put something together here for you. It's a bit mishmashy, but maybe it's working for you. Sometimes I think, oh, what a terrible reading, and then people comment, oh, that was great, it was fantastic, spot on. So hopefully it's one of those. So look, why is the King of Swords here? Why would Scorpio be concerned or hopeful about a King of Swords? And you have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so it's another court card. The Knight of Pentacles talks about long-term plodding through something. So is there someone in your midst who has to do with a long-term situation? Perhaps there's a boss there, and whatever project you've been working on or you're going to work on, this could really have long-term ramifications. Okay, so if it's a project which is part of a larger scheme of things, like a cog in the wheel or something, and you're part of that, and you're feeling really responsible for how it's all going together. That's what I'm getting there. I might just clarify this one more time. Why is the King of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles in the hopes and fears position for Scorpio in the second half of February 2019? There we go, the Nine of Swords again. Okay, so again, it looks like there's some sleepless nights, some confusion, or some conflicting values happening here. And so it looks like you're trying to please too many people, and it might be compromising whatever you're trying to do. So I'm feeling this is a real workplace situation. Trying to please too many people, and it's not working for you, or there's a real decision you've got to make, and someone's nose is going to be put out of joint, or you might lose the trust or the good feeling between you and a colleague, perhaps. Let's have a look at the best attitude position. The best attitude, you had the Four of Cups, and so you're being asked to take an opportunity. If someone offers you something, it's going to be a good offer, but you don't seem to have any real reason for knocking it back, apart from some conditioning that you've had, or perhaps that you're worried about what someone else might think. Perhaps that's what this King of Swords energy was about back here. You're a bit worried about what they think about something, and you're trying to impress them, but if you are seen to be with this other person, or to be taking this offer, that some kind of politics, and maybe there's some mixing of work and personal relationships somewhere along the line, I'm seeing. But let's have a look at this offer. Why is the Four of Cups here? Hope this is making sense, Scorpio. Why is the Four of Cups here? The Scorpio in the best attitude position. There we go, one jumped out. And you've got the Four of Rods, the Four of Wands. And so this card talks about a happy home. It talks about fulfilling home life. It talks about long-term happiness, really. And so I'm getting the feeling that take this offer from this universe here, this Four of Cups, which the universe is just coming and giving you this cup and offering it to you. If you take it, then this seems to be the outcome of that. Okay, maybe is someone asking you to move in with them? someone's offering you something pretty genuine and pretty deep and pretty profound. Again, we talked about long-term something here. Anyway, keep going with this Nine of Swords in the middle of the outcome. So this is your outcome at the end of the period, which talks about regret, overthinking, not taking opportunities and then beating yourself up about it, or making a mistake, or putting yourself under too much pressure somehow, or not standing back and seeing things for what they really are, losing perspective. Let's have a look. Why is the Nine of Swords here for Scorpio? And we have the King of Rods. Okay, so the King of Wands is here. The King of Rods is a stable energy. They don't muck around. They're a fiery kind of energy. So if this is a person, I'm seeing a lot of people here. I'm seeing a lot of people in this spread here, especially in your hopes and fears and then your outcome positions. So it looks like you're really worried about what this kind of person. I'm thinking the King of Wands and the King of Swords, they're the same person. And you're a little bit worried about what they're going to think about your performance somehow, okay? And it's messing with your personal decisions that you're making. And look, that's what I've got for you, Scorp. I hope I'd like to redo that whole reading there, but look, I hope that's fitted in for you somehow. Please let me know if it has. And hopefully I'll talk to you again in a couple of weeks.